At America Trends, we only talk about what your social media says is trending, so let's get right back to it. In the studio with me is highly decorated Marine Corps veteran and captain, and she's running for Congress here in California. Big California welcome to Jacquie Atkinson. It's great to have you here,
Thank you,
my
Barry.
good friend.
It's great to be here.
So let's talk about what we just heard from Lisa.
Yes.
On a couple of things that are really important. First, tell us about your combat history.
So I was a Marine. I served as a combat engineer. I was honored to be one of the first female combat engineers in the Marine Corps. I was commissioned in 2000, did several tours of duty in Iraq, and I continue to serve overseas as a businesswoman, a trusted partner to the Department of Defense.
Well, let's not gloss over the military background.
Right.
You're highly decorated. Talk about your awards, the big things that hang on your chest when you go to a nice dinner.
You know, I'm a little too humble to talk about that. You can absolutely go to JackieAtkinson.com if you'd like to read my bio. I have been fortunate. I've had great leaders. I've had great staff NCOs and Marines and soldiers attached to me that made me look good.
You've got the Bronze Star. Come on.
Thank you. Yes. I was honored with that.
And we thank you for your service.
Thank you, Barry.
So, as an expert that's been there, let's start off with something that's near and dear to my heart because I've written and talked about it for a long time, which is this horrendous Iran nuclear deal.
Yes.
From someone that's been there on the front lines, what's your take on it?
Well, from the front lines, my take is the fact that I think that America forgets that Iran was responsible for over 500 deaths of my fellow brothers and sisters that bear the uniform, that fought for us. They were also single-handedly responsible for the improvised or the explosive form projectile, improvised explosive device. And also the fact of the matter is that the Iranian influence is extremely dangerous, not only to the United States, but also the Middle East region.
So, as someone who's been there, do you think we caved in and kiss their tush, so to speak, in a way that's going to be harmful to America going forward?
Absolutely. This does not stop Iran from obtaining a nuclear weapon. This is a bad deal. We never should have entered into this deal. It just shows how passive and weak the Obama administration is, and particularly Scott Peters, our own representative who voted for it. He doesn't even have the moral courage to come and talk to his constituents that he represents to tell them why he voted for this deal, when the majority...
Don't get me started. No inspections.
Nothing.
It guarantees them to have nuclear weapons. American inspectors are never allowed into Iran. No inspectors allowed on military bases.
Right.
It guarantees them a nuclear weapon.
And they don't even recognize the right of Israel to exist.
Right.
That's our largest ally in
So if you're in
the
Congress,
region.
you're going to work to stop it?
Oh, I want to rip up that deal myself. Absolutely.
I'll high-five you on the day that you do.
Thank you. Thank you.
So talk to us about women in combat. It's a controversial issue for some people. You've been a woman in combat leading a lot of troops. I mean, a lot of troops. Got very badly injured in combat. What's your take on that? You
know, my take is that when you're a Marine, you're a Marine. Doesn't matter what gender. When you're a soldier, you're a soldier. And if you can meet the standard, absolutely you have a right to exist in the infantry or wherever you want to serve. So I think the best thing that came out of this new controversy is that the standards have been rethought, and they've placed standards not only on women but also on men. So you have to meet that standard, and by no means should the standards ever be lowered in order to meet, infantry or artillery or to serve in combat, or even, Navy SEALs, Special Forces, and I applaud all the women who would volunteer to do so.
I did this show some time ago with Iron Ed, a prominent Navy SEAL trainer and someone that went through a lot of deployments.
A hero to our nation.
Absolutely, and Ed's position is if women can do the same things in combat that men can do, then he's all for it.
Right.
You agree?
I absolutely agree.
So no separate standards, no lighter packs, somebody else carries the big weapons?
No, by no means. And we saw women are already serving in combat. I have a combat action ribbon, a United States Marine Corps combat action ribbon. I was in direct support to 1st Marine Division, and I upheld the standard. And in some cases, I actually could run faster or carry more. But at the end of the day,
we're a team. Well, you've also done the Ironman, so you're quite an athlete. I understand that.
Yes, yes, absolutely. So it just shows that, particularly in this unconventional war, women are in the front lines, doctors, lawyers. There are a lot of individuals in the front line that wouldn't regularly be. I understand where Duncan Hunter is coming from, Congressman Hunter. He's nervous because we've never faced a conventional threat before. So we've had this discussion, and I understand where he's coming from. But at the end of the day, women are capable of serving, and I believe that society will accept them.
So, cool. As far as your campaign, is that message resonating with the public out here?
I think so. I am a non-career politician, and I do not pander to special interests. So I actually want to serve, just like I did, serve selflessly the district, the 52nd district, and represent the constituents of it. I am strong on foreign policy. I believe in a strong principled foreign policy that keeps us on the offense against Islamic extremism, and I can say Islamic extremism. I want to secure the border, not open our borders.
I'm sorry, did you say Islamic extremism?
That's right.
I thought so.
Yep.
Go ahead.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And I also want to secure the border. And lastly, I think I can really impact better veterans care. There's over 50,000 veterans in this district, and right now they're not receiving the care that they deserve.
Now, your personal history, I mean, you've been through the VA. You came back severely injured from your last combat tour. How bad was it coming through the VA system that didn't seem to take very good care of you?
You know, I actually was injured on my first combat tour. It was during the invasion of Iraq, and I was medevac to a tactical hospital in Europe. And the care was, it left much to be desired. Let's just put it that way.
So what would you change? If you're in Congress and you're going to work for veterans, on behalf of veterans, as a veteran, what would you do differently?
First, we have to hold the leaders accountable. For the poor care themselves. We should put numerous executives and also VA workers on a probationary status. Second, we have to ensure that we decrease the amount of wait times. No veteran should wait more than 2 or 3 days in order to gain an appointment. If they're on a waiting list, they should be able to seek care from any hospital or any doctor, and the VA should have to pay for that. And third, we really have to show respect to our veterans, and I think that that's missing. We have 22 veterans a day killing themselves right now, and that's disgusting. And San Diego actually has the highest number of post-9/11 veterans in the entire nation. So I would love to see more representatives stick up for the veterans. I'd love to see more representatives hold the VA accountable, and that's something I'll absolutely do.
Well, the big difference is the vast majority of Congress has never put on a uniform, let alone served.
Right.
So it's not a personal issue to them. For you, obviously, it is, and you can bring a sense of been there, done that. Give me the reins, and I'll make some changes. So
absolutely,
that would be very welcome.
Exactly, Barry. And I have the strong moral courage to do what is right, and that is exactly why I'm not pandering to special interests right now, because I want to represent the constituents. 100% of my funding has been received from the constituents and has been from here, from small donations. I appreciate it, and I will always stand with them.
Good for you.
Thank you.
Security-wise, in California, any changes you'd make? Or in the United States as far as securing the homeland?
Absolutely. So to caveat on what Lisa was saying, and she's a wonderful woman, it was great to listen to what she had to say. I agree with what she has to say. In fact, that we're seeing that not only in Europe, but also the attacks in San Bernardino, it shows that ISIS or Islamic extremists do pose a significant threat to the United States. And in fact, the attacks I saw in Europe and also in San Bernardino are similar to that of the tactics, techniques, and procedures that I saw on the battlefields of Iraq. So they absolutely pose a threat to us in the homeland, and we must secure our borders. We must ensure that we're investigating and holding those on visa overstays accountable. We are a nation of laws. We must enforce them.
Jackie, thanks for being with us. You're terrific, and thanks for your service. More American Trends coming up. Please stick around. Don't go away.